Good evening, you're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Farhana Sheikh. National car maker Proton today officially unveiled the name of the first model for IMAS, its new electrical vehicle brand. The first ever Malaysian EV will be known as the Proton IMAS 7, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the country's automotive history.
While the full launch will occur later in the year, the confirmation of the name and preview was made today. According to Proton Chief Executive Officer Dr. Lee Chun Rong, more will be revealed about the model co-developed with Geely in the coming months. A C-segment SUV, the IMAS 7 underscores Proton's commitment to the Malaysian government's electric vehicle agenda, which calls for national car makers to introduce electric vehicles by 2025.
A national decarbonisation roadmap for aviation will be launched in September. Transport Minister Anwar says the roadmap would act as a policy guideline for airlines and airport operators to reduce carbon emissions and promote the use of sustainable aviation fuel.
We have presented our paper to Cabinet, and Cabinet have given the endorsement and approval for this blueprint to be published and to be implemented. It is a policy guideline guiding our aviation sector in terms of the way forward for decarbonisation. It will involve both the airlines, airport operators, and also our adoption on sustainable aviation fuel. So it will encompass a few sectors and a few elements towards decarbonisation. So it will be a guiding principle. So this will be a policy that will be adopted by the Ministry of Transport.
Lok said the roadmap was drawn up based on input from many airline and aviation stakeholders. Last April, Lok announced that airlines can start charging for carbon levy voluntarily to offset carbon emissions once the Malaysian Aviation Commission (MAVCOM's) Code of Conduct has been finalised.
Malaysia's air passenger traffic is projected to reach between 93.9 million and 107.1 million people by the end of the year. Transport Minister Anwar says the country is on track to reach pre-pandemic figures, despite previous predictions that the aviation industry would take 3 to 5 years. According to the Malaysian Aviation Commission, Malaysia's total air passenger traffic reached 46.6 million in the first half of 2024. This marked a 15.3% increase year-on-year from the 40.4 million recorded during the same period in 2023. MAVCOM said ASEAN passenger traffic showed the highest recovery rate, with 2.2 million passengers in 2024. It added that air cargo traffic in the second quarter of 2024 had increased by 5.5% year-on-year to 241,895 tons. In other news, the Foreign Ministry has issued an advisory for Malaysians to defer any non-essential travel to Bangladesh. It also urges travelling Malaysians to register with the High Commission upon arrival, including students returning to continue their studies.
The ministry said it was aware of Malaysian citizens who intend to return to Bangladesh amid the unrest. It advised those already in Bangladesh to avoid large gatherings and conflict areas and to follow local authorities' instructions. Last month, a total of 123 Malaysians were evacuated on board a chartered flight from Dhaka. This followed student rallies against civil service job quotas, which sparked days of violence that killed at least 206 people. The clashes were some of the worst of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 15-year tenure, but her government has since largely restored order with mass arrests, troop deployments and a nationwide internet shutdown that was lifted on Sunday. The country also called for a day of mourning on Tuesday for victims of the violence, but students have denounced the gesture as disrespectful of classmates who were killed during clashes with police.
Mahkota Assemblyperson Datuk Sharifa Aiza said Zain has passed away at the age of 63. Johor Menteri Besar Datuk Onn Hafiz Ghazi confirmed this news in a condolence message. Sharifa Aiza, who was the Kluang Wanita UMNO Division Chief, died at 12:45 p.m. at the intensive care unit of the Encik Besar Hajah Kalsum Hospital. She was reported to be in critical condition due to internal bleeding and was brought to the hospital on Tuesday night. Sharifa Aiza won the Mahkota State constituency in the 2022 Johor State election. Prior to that, she served as Penawa Assemblyman from 2018 to 2022. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar says he will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Vladivostok in a few weeks to discuss economic cooperation. Other than that, he also aims to foster better Malaysia-Russia bilateral relations. Anwar announced he would be travelling to Vladivostok at Putin's invitation. On July 28th, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with Anwar during his visit to Malaysia. They discussed, among other topics, Malaysia's interest in joining BRICS, with Russia currently holding the BRICS chairmanship. Anwar and Lavrov also explored ways to strengthen Malaysia-Russia relations and expand cooperation in various sectors, including trade, defence, higher education, science and technology. We'll go for a quick break. Stay tuned for more.
Inilah masanya separuh akhir Piala FA. Debaran sepenuhnya dirasai dalam pertempuran Kedah dan JDT.
Satu follow up yang cukup baik.
Bertekad sepenuhnya dalam perlawanan Selangor dan Terengganu.
Dengan sentuhan magis di Piala FA.
Demi melangkah ke pusingan seterusnya. Sokonglah sepenuhnya demi Liga kita. Piala FA secara langsung di Astro Arena Bola dan Astro Go.
5 lelaki penghantar makanan didakwa di Mahkamah Magistrat Bangi atas tuduhan membunuh seorang pemandu kereta lelaki dalam satu kejadian.
4 sungai di sekitar kawasan perindustrian Pasir Gudang di Johor termasuk Sungai Kim Kim didapati tercemar dan berada pada tahap yang membimbangkan. Kerajaan sudah mulakan inisiatif untuk menggantikan kenderaan operasinya kepada kenderaan elektrik EV dalam skala kecil terlebih dahulu.
Welcome back. A funeral for Ismail Haniyeh will be held in Doha today before the Hamas leader is buried. Haniyeh's body arrived in Qatar, where he has lived since 2017, last night following a funeral service and procession in Tehran, where he was assassinated earlier this week. Hamas announced that Arab and Islamic leaders, representatives of other Palestinian factions, including Fatah, and members of the public will attend the Doha funeral. Israel has not commented on the pre-dawn attack in Tehran that killed Haniyeh and his bodyguard on Wednesday, but Hamas, Iran and others have accused Israel of the attack. Haniyeh was playing a key role in ceasefire talks in Gaza and working with Qatari, Egyptian and US mediators in months-long negotiations. US President Joe Biden stated that Haniyeh's killing has not helped the situation and expressed concern about rising tensions in the region. Meanwhile, Turkey has blocked access to social media platform Instagram without stating a reason or duration for the ban. The move follows criticism from a Turkish communications official who accused the platform of blocking condolence posts for the killing of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh earlier this week. In a post on X on Wednesday, Fahrettin Altun, communications director of the Turkish presidency, criticized the move as censorship, adding that Instagram had not cited any policy violations for its action. Instagram's parent company, Meta Platforms, has not commented on either the ban or Altun's remarks. Turkish media report that over 50 million users in Turkey, out of a population of 85 million, are signed up to Instagram. This is not the first time Turkish authorities have blocked access to social media sites. Wikipedia was blocked from April 2017 to January 2020 over articles alleging a link between President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and extremism. In other news, airlines are avoiding Iranian and Lebanese airspace and cancelling flights to Israel and Lebanon as concerns grow over a possible conflict in the region after the killing of Ismail Haniyeh and senior members Hezbollah this week.
In a statement to Reuters, Singapore Airlines has stopped flying through Iranian airspace from early Friday morning and is using alternative routes, saying safety is its top priority. Flight Radar 24 data showed Taiwan's EVA Air and China Airlines also appeared to be avoiding Iran airspace for flights to Amsterdam on Friday, which previously had flown over Iran. Many airlines, including US and European airlines, already avoid flying over Iran, especially since the reciprocal missile and drone attacks in April between Iran and Israel. Reuters reported that top Iranian officials will meet the representatives of Iran's regional allies from Lebanon, Iraq and Yemen to discuss potential retaliation against Israel.
Over in Indonesia, Bali authorities have tightened the screening of foreign nationals entering the Indonesian resort island in response to a surge in tourist arrivals this year. The number of international visitors reached 3.89 million in the first 7 months of 2024, an increase of almost 1 million from the same period last year. The heightened supervision applies to all foreign visitors arriving at Bali's Ngurah Rai International Airport. Enhanced screening includes meticulous checks of passports, visas and resident permits. The immigration checks also integrate facial recognition technology for greater border control management. Australians dominated Bali arrival numbers with over 877,000 visitors, followed by more than 328 visitors from India and 278 visitors from China. Significant numbers of tourists also came from the United Kingdom, South Korea, the United States, France, Malaysia, Singapore and Germany. That wraps up AWANI tonight. I'm Farhana Sheikh. Thank you for watching.